Oh yeah, we back with another episode on the Twisted Tea 2. And well, if you missed it yesterday, let's just say we got into a guy that is having problems with his wife because she's been playing whale music at very, very loud, crazy times at night. And he can't sleep. Now let's just say that he wanted to know if he was being an a-hole because he slept in his car and was getting good nights of sleep. And at first, when I read it, hey, you're going to have to check it out. But when I read it, I tried to side with him until we got to the comments. You know, my favorite part in them comments where they started telling us that he was posting pics of his dangalang. Ding, 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 ding. Posting pics of his dangalang online, waiting for people to rate it. Ooh, hey, we all out there. I ain't do no background research, but it said it multiple times. And you know, these people on Reddit, they be on their stuff. Boy, they be on the job. I'm trying to tell you. So, today, we're going to get into issues with more family drama. But, you know, sometimes you win money. You come into the lottery. You hit big at the casino. You tell the people around you. You know, you hit big at a stock market. You tell the people around you. They start asking for stuff. Oh, yeah. So, this guy wants to know, is he being an a-hole for not paying for his nephew's tuition after what he has done to his son? All right, let's see what he did. It says, so I hit big at the casino last year, like life-changing money. Everyone in the family suddenly has ideas about how I should spend my winnings. It doesn't say how old he is either. My sister's kid has been applying to state schools. He was over at our place, you know, having a nice little family barbecue last month. Well, he started mocking my son about his gaming hobby, calling him a no-life loser and saying he'll never move out of my basement. So I looked at him like he was crazy. And I said, shut up. My son was in tears afterwards. Kid already dealing with anxiety. And this, well, it sent him in a spiral. So now I'm really feeling bad. Fast forward. Last week, my sister's calling me, demanding I pay for my nephew's tuition. Well, you know, since I have all of this extra money just sitting around, she said. I laughed. And I reminded her how her precious boy treated my son. She exploded, saying, boys are just gonna be boys. That's how they talk to each other. Why would you even take it there? And I'm destroying his future over nothing. You're just gonna destroy his path. Now, the whole family keeps calling me, blowing up my phone, saying I'm being petty and vindictive. Look, I'm not obligated to fund his education regardless, okay? He ain't come from these nuts. But especially not after the kid had my kid crying over there. I'm just saying, am I the asshole? You know, I think you said it in that last point when you said that you're really not obligated to fund that boy's future regardless, right? And technically speaking, if you were to fund his future, it would be out of the goodness of your heart at the beginning of that. So the fact that they putting the pressure on you to make it so that you're forced to do something like this, I think they the asshole, right? And who's to say that when this kid goes on to his fully funded future, he gonna do what he's supposed to do? Right? What if he just knows it's fully funded? Well, another F's off your money. I'm just saying. Anyway, so no, I don't think you the asshole. All right? People, you can leave that in the comments whether you do or don't think he is. I don't think so. But we're going to get into what the Reddit people had to say. All right. First one said, bleep that nephew. Right? Buy him the book titled Don't Be a Pompous Asshole to Your Cousin Whose Daddy Just Hit It Big at the Casino and You Shit the Bed. Yep. Blank that nephew said the horse he rode into town and the mare that gave him birth on it. Should have told your sister it was just uncles being uncles and you decided not to pay. Yeah. All right, we got some good advice, it looks like. Contact a financial advisor. Block anyone with unsolicited suggestions on what to do with your money. It makes sense. Literally, the only advice should be listening to. Yeah, that's right. And tell all family members that you have their handout that gave you whole shebang to charity. Not the A. Maybe she should prepare her basement for him. Maybe she should prepare her basement for him. Yeah. Even if your nephew were a saint, dropped down from heaven, you are under no obligation to cover his tuition. But congrats to your nephew. He did indeed get schooled. Yeah, he did. Hey, congrats to you for winning. You know, let your family pay his tuition. They are the one that's invested. They calling you, tell them band up, get it together since they so big on this idea. There's nothing stopping the people who tell you to pay from paying themselves. I've noticed how it's always the ones who do nothing who go on that someone, not them, should do it. Yeah, man. Happens all the time. That's your mistake for telling everybody you made it big. Now, they're all going to keep asking you for a payout. Not the asshole. Find a fiduciary financial advisor and tell everybody your money's tied up in investments. Good advice. Ding, ding, ding. Good advice. It's a gambling propaganda. Fake story, try again. Gambling propaganda. Already caught another tonight. Oh, okay. What we got, the Reddit police? Those must be the Reddit police. Didn't you also hit it big in the casino last year with a life-changing money? Laugh out loud. It's a tale as old as time. As we all know, casinos love to hand out free money to visitors. Funniest part of the fiction is that the writer couldn't even be bothered to provide any details of the huge win. Well, not even the win. There's no age. There's really no context to this story, which would usually be far more interesting story than the am I the A angle. You'll know so many of these failed creative writing fantasies are titled in unoriginal and obviously repeats of other fake rage bait stories. It's a shame that people continue to believe them and respond. Well, empty antelope, you just responded. Yeah, I mean, you might not have believed the story, but you definitely responded. Gotcha. Would ask your sister what her plan would have been if you hadn't unexpectedly came into money. If the difference was between her son's future being destroyed or not hinging solely on the fact that you happened to win the lottery, it seems like his future was already screwed to begin with. You make a valid point. And whose responsibility is that? Again, valid point. His parents, obviously. Duh. Yeah. Oh, we got another one that said that's a devoted AI story. It's your money. You can decide what to do with it. Also agree it's not you in the first place. Yeah. All right, so like I said, I don't think the person was the asshole, whether this is or is not a fake story. If you think it's fake in the comments, write FAKE, right? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. There's no real context to the story, but details inside this as far as okay, I hit it big and I was this age, my sister's this age. My nephew's finishing school at this time. This is one of the colleges. Yeah, here's the profession he's looking to go into. Things like that. Okay. So, real quick, let's get into one more before we go. And this one is, am I the A for leaving my husband of 20 years with whom I have three young kids because he had a blazon emotional affairs and an untold number of who knows what the hell else. Okay. So, my husband, 43 female. My 43 female husband, 44 male, okay, have been married for 20 years. We have mostly enjoyed a great relationship with many good times, lots of laughter, and love. Our friend couples look up to our relationship. Early in our marriage, I caught him messaging women on his phone on a few occasions. Perhaps not to count, but I'm going to say 3 or 4 times over the course of a few months. He always apologized and blamed low self esteem as, well, the problem. One message to another woman read, I love you. It destroyed me, but he promised to take part in marriage counseling. And guess what? We reconciled. After that, we went on to have three. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time out, time out. So after that, you went on to have these kids. Okay, let's get back into this. I'm going to get back to this. Sorry. After that, we went on to have three beautiful children. And life went back to normal. Huh. I always felt like something wasn't quite right. Did you? I'm feeling the same way. There was certainly a lack of trust. Really? I think you had the head on the nail there. There was certainly a lack of trust and emotional connection missing from our relationship. But I wanted to trust him and never checked his phone for anything like that. 10 years passed. Later, I caught him again texting a woman, and fast forward another year and a half, and my life was blown up in my face. Phone records reveal he has been in what? In almost he has been in almost consistent state of communication with women he knows, women he has met on apps, women he has met through online escort agencies and massage parlors, and girls on sex chat hotlines. What? His behavior has been ongoing at least the last 16 months of our marriage because that's how far back the phone records go. It's been devastating and shocking. He swears he was never physical with anybody. But come on, how dumb does he think I am? The phone records came out in November. We've been working on filing a divorce since then. And just recently, I had an anonymous number text me late at night to ask if I was married to my husband, and if so, that I should, oh, I'm sorry, if I was married to my husband, and if so, that, oh, I'm losing it. Give me a second. It was getting so good. Shit, we gotta go back. Whew. Ay, ay, ay. We gotta go back. All right, 1 second. November, we've been working on filing for a divorce since then. And just recently, I had an anonymous number text me late night. Guess what? Asking me if I was married to my husband, and if so, that I should know he is active on dating apps. I also had a distant friend of mine call me directly, doot, 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 hey yo, just to let me know that he's been using dating apps like crazy. I think it says furiously. His photos are plastered all over threads, and numerous women are comparing notes on his promises to take them on dates. Oh, wow, that's where the money going. Let's get back to it. There are brief moments I question if I have the right to leave him and make my children suffer through divorce. So please tell me if I am the asshole for leaving him, or do I have other choice or choices? All right. Wow. Yeah, you're right. He has been, whatever that liaison word means, and is all over the place, okay? Your boy's going wild. Now, obviously, we ain't got to the comments. This was put up really like, and they might probably, let's see. Well, I think, I think it's a mess, right? How old are your kids? You don't say how old your kids are. 10 years. Listen, you know what the messed up part is? You knew all along that he was dirty. All right? Look, and don't call me the A for saying it, all right? But I'm just saying. You knew all along that he was dirty. You're telling us in the beginning parts of this shit up top that perhaps you knew perhaps that he had been texting and doing things in the beginning, right? This was prior to the kids, okay? So, you knew. And for that to have to come to all of this, where now he's hitting the massage parlors, and which he hitting the massage parlors, okay, at least he ain't in there piping them. At least we hope not. All right, he might be getting finishes, but at least he ain't in there piping them when he hitting the massage parlors. Okay, now these escort agencies though, look. Okay, what I've been hearing about that. Okay, those are all over the nose. Now, he might be piping them. All right, I'm sure, but whatever. All right, it's time to go. Okay, you knew in the beginning this wasn't gonna work, and you wanted to keep it going. You all had the kids, and I know this is gonna hurt the kids, but it should also let them know that this isn't no way, especially if you have girls to be treated and have to deal with or take on, especially if you two didn't agree to allowing him to do these things. Now, if you all agreed to allow him to do these things and let him do whatever the hell else he's done, like you said, then hey, that's different. But I don't think you agreed to it, because you seem to be a little like hit blindsided by it. So I'm with you, and just let's get the hell out. All right, Now, let's hit the comments. All right, this is no marriage. Seriously, leave them. Okay, get the screenshots of those Facebook posts for your divorce. Your STBX is the POS. Also, get tested for the STD, right? I don't think it was ever not physical. See what I'm saying? You are not wrong for getting a divorce. Your children deserve a happy mom. They also need to see that their dad's behavior is wrong and unacceptable. That's it, right? If you all were just arguing and fighting, I'd be like, nah, but he out here running around doing a bunch of bull junker-dicker. So you gotta go, right? You gotta let them know there's no way to be treated. You're not happy for it. Thank you. I did get an STD check after seeing those phone records in November, and it came back totally clean. However, his story has changed so many times. I am certain there is much more that he isn't telling me in regards to it being physical. Also, the divorce is filed as of a week, and we are waiting for 30 days waiting period for the judge to sign off. I'm just second guessing myself and hoping I'm making the right decision for the kids, not for him, not even for myself. Listen, in the long run, you letting kids know that in life, you don't let nobody run over you. Nobody. Okay? Because you got to live with you at the end of this, right? And they're going to get it later if they don't get it now, especially if they understood how you were being treated through this. All right? I'm sorry, I've been reading this. The responses so far, like you're making it so simple and obvious. And I agree with you. And I'm in almost disbelief that it took me so long to get out there, to get out here, that I didn't see who he was, even through, even though he let me know exactly who he was a long time ago, I still wanted to believe that he once had, that what he once had what we had. I'm sorry. I thought he was. That we could stay together as a family. This is heart wrenching, but thank you for validating me. I've carried the burden of his action for literally decades, and it feels somewhat lighter when I hear you say I'm not making the wrong choice. Thank you. Nah, you're not making the wrong choice. You're absolutely right. And like we've been telling you, yeah, them kids will appreciate it later and understand that, especially if you have girls, and guys. Like, man, it goes both ways, In order for relationships to work, you got to treat each other the right way, right? And running out on them and doing all the extra stuff is not the right way. And with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. All right? We're going to let you enjoy the day. Okay? But make sure you keep your head on a swivel because not everybody's out there for your best interests. And thank you for tuning into an episode of The Twisted Tea 2 where we're reading these Reddits to you. Oh, yeah. Peace out.